Stanford goes for their 18th consecutive win. The Pac-12 Game of the Week starts next. The number one team in the conference adds to a historic day of sports in Los Angeles. The Stanford Cardinal have a national title run on their Christmas list. But first, a meeting with the UCLA Bruins inside Pauley Pavilion. Still inside the top 25, a very dangerous Bruin team. Let's look at the leaders inside the Pac-12. This is how close it is as the second half of conference play dawns. Just 3 matches separating 2 through 7. A lot yet to be decided in this year. Kevin Barnett alongside Mike Dodd, former Olympian. Once again, welcome into women's volleyball. And Mike, an interesting run here with the second half of the season now underway. How do you see the Pac-12 stacking up?
Well, Stanford, first and foremost, on cruise control. They're looking like they're going to roll to first place in the Pac-12. But the other teams that are bunched up at the top, you know, they've had moments of brilliance, moments of not so good, but they look at the separation, they realize, you know, the second half, all they have to do is put things together. This UCLA team, they're dangerous. They haven't been as consistent as Coach Seeley would like, but everyone's got a chance.
Moment of brilliance for Stanford. Adriana Fitzmaurice played middle last year. They had an opening at opposite. She's been just as effective for head coach Kevin Hambly.
Yeah, what a luxury to have that natural middle going outside. Fitzmaurice is getting quicker and quicker, moving to the outside, doing the little plays, covering your hitters, defending on the off ball, and doing a great job of blocking.
Fitzmaurice comes in with that middle blocking experience, and she has added all the tools on the pin for UCLA. What puts them in their comfort zone? They kind of were up and down to start conference play, had 4 straight where they played well, but you didn't like their last match.
Yeah, and Coach Mike Seeley really summed it up with their first contacts, especially transition defense. If they can really control that ball and get it in a good spot for the setter, the sets are better to the outside, and the outsides feel like they see the court a little bit better, and they're a much more effective team. So first contact's key.
All right, which bear is best? Some would argue the black bear, but that is debatable. The best Bruin bear will be needed to claw out a win today. UCLA Stanford, Game of the Week, on tap now. Pauley Pavilion, remodeled just a couple of years ago. One of the best conference venues you will find in a conference full of fantastic buildings, and an outstanding crowd showing up here on a Sunday, along with the full band to cheer on the Bruins, and they will need the push against the number 2 team in the nation. Let's meander on over and take a look at our starting lineups. First for the Stanford Cardinal visiting, we mentioned Fitzmaurice. Well, we don't want to discount the other 6'6" player out there. Catherine Plummer at the outside hitter. Absolutely exceptional.
Yeah. Don't want to discount the other 4 All-Americans that make up the starting lineup, but boy, Catherine Plummer, what a luxury to have a player like her. Really gets the job done.
Megan McClure having an outstanding sophomore campaign next to her. For UCLA, Moser to the opposite was a move they made early in the year. Alexis Light outside hitter, and this is a lineup they have stabilized over the last 5-6 matches.
Yeah, and you look at Moser's hitting percentage, you know, that's a bit of a concern, I would say, for the Bruins. I think they really need her to pick up her consistency, and hopefully, you know, she's getting her secondary legs going in that opposite position.
Talk about that first contact. Simo and Muno will take the duties there. For head coach Mike Seeley in his 9th year, as he looks over at Grandpa Kevin Hambly. Is that a Halloween costume, Kev? What are we doing with the glasses? 2nd year as the head coach here. Outstanding success with the USA Women's National Team before moving on to Illinois as the head coach. Pretty special moment when he returned as head coach of Stanford. And on the other side, Mike Seeley, a contemporary of Kevin Hambly in terms of their playing days, a setter and national champion here. 9th season as the head coach, already won national title as the head back in 2011. Succeeded Andy Banikowski, who was here forever.
Forever. More wins than any coach. The women's level. Pretty cool.
There's a look at Catherine Plummer. That's Alexis Light. This is the future of volleyball right now. 3 players above 6'5" on the floor. We are underway here in set 1. You go right to the right side. Moser, and it's a kill. No, it lands in. How do you let that one drop, Mike?
Yeah, anything close, you got to play that, don't you, Kevin?
That's one kill for Catherine Plummer.
Look at Plummer lining up right in the spot. A little bit of scouting there, I'd imagine, right on the line.
Rogers with her first kill. And Kyra Rogers, I think if you're UCLA, you want to get her off to a good start. Has had no more than 5 kills in the last 5 matches.
Really brings the heat out of the middle and hits for a good percentage as well. You want to try to get her as many hits as possible.
Plummer, perfect pass. And that ball hit high, but way too long. That is one of the fabulous freshmen which have become so common with Stanford. Holly Campbell out of Austin, Texas. She's matched up with UCLA's best blocker, who does not get there that time. A little bit late was Madeline Gates and taking advantage of the Cardinal. Megan
McClure just doing it all. Steps into the middle, passes on a dime, and then swings outside and just beats cross court.
Well, Megan McClure was the fabulous freshman last year, stepping right into that starting role. Formico in to serve.
Tight. Still alive.
Still alive. Hands gets it with the right hand. Put that as potential play of the day, as that one is shanked on the second contact, negating what was an outstanding play.
I think on the second contact, Jenna Gray goes around the back to keep it alive. That was pretty sweet.
Morgan Hens leading the Pac-12 in digs, over 5 a set. Another good pass, backslide, but that one finds the antenna. And we had a warning from one of the Stanford staff. We like to start slow. UCLA has started fast, 4-2 the lead. Right back to that backslide. Oh, a little uppercut action underneath the net. Stanford. Mike, how do they get their feet under him here?
Interesting bang play there. Hence with the dig. Formico in front of the 10-foot line. Sees a defender trying to knuckle it over.
5-2, and the home crowd is alive. Way out of system of the Cardinal. And that continues. Backslide to Gates is good. Muno covered up that right back.
Yeah, Muno really covered some court, put the ball on a dime, and so far, those first transition defensive contacts for UCLA have been right on a dime, running their offense, making it tough. Mosier really serving well from that right back.
Mike Seeley saying we're going to have to play clean volleyball for a long period of time. Beautiful set delivery. Hens digs that one into the crowd, and it is super clean. Tied over there on the UCLA side.
Yeah, treat for the fans tonight between Zana Muno and Morgan Hens, who got 2 of the best diggers of the hard-driven ball in the Pac-12, and that time Hens just couldn't keep the ball in her side of the court.
Light crushed that one. It is 7-2. Kevin Hambley calls a timeout. Bruins aggressors. I want to welcome those of you that have been watching men's soccer from across the Pac-12 network programming. This is women's volleyball. We're inside Pauley Pavilion with the #2 team in the nation, the Stanford Cardinal, trying to defeat UCLA for the second time this season. They are behind in set number 1. I'm Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Mike Dodd. These two teams met one time earlier in the year. It was September 26th. 3-0 for Stanford, 18, 19, and 17. Plummer 17 kills, Campbell 6 blocks. But at the beginning of this match, Mike, has looked nothing like that performance. A lot of UCLA. Light misses.
Yeah, UCLA's done a really nice job. They couldn't convert on that transition, but they have been converting, and coming off a really tough loss to Cal. They're right where Mike Seeley wants them to be here in the first set.
Tough pass, Light with another tough swing. She was 2 for 2 on better opportunities. Snap over the top. That was Fitzmaurice. Right back to her. Right over the top once again, but UCLA with the D. And the O to follow.
Alexis Light doing a nice job. Just chopping inside the block. Fitzmaurice just bombed too and got dug on both. And there's the little tool off the inside block, off the inside hand.
Alexis Light 3 for 5. Nice start for the redshirt freshman. Woo! Blasting inside. McClure.
Wow. Just unloads.
You know Megan McClure has fans here. She's from nearby Rancho Santa Margarita.
Just tees off on that cross court. Put that in the memory banks if you're a middle blocker for UCLA. Take that away.
Plummer, excellent defense. May slaps at it. Battle of the bigs. Oh, that was a long run for Gray. Tight. And out. No touch called.
Mosier coming down. Signaling there was a touch. No such. Trying to sell it. Not
and
bad.
Mike Seeley's buying.
And Mike Seeley's buying. She's selling. He's buying.
So Mike Seeley will now issue his first challenge of set number 1. Bruins come in at 11-7, 6-5 in conference play, and facing a Stanford club that is 11-0 in the Pac-12 conference, has lost just 4 sets in conference play.
And we were told Stanford is notoriously slow starting out, and UCLA, this is really an important challenge right there. It's tough to tell on that play. UCLA wants to keep as big a separation as they can from this tough Cardinal team at the end of this first set. Try to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I don't see anything there. I don't see the ball touch. I don't see a net touch.
Nope.
See a ball hidden out of bounds.
I see maybe a hand pointed toward the Cardinal bench after this review. We'll see.
Mike Seeley remarked to us that last year they were in a very similar position, lost the match to Stanford, ended up at 6-6. That's possible today. Boy, they would love to get the victory and be at 7-5. But he said that from that point forward, we made a run. We were a different team, and that may be possible again this year to get that kind of momentum going.
You know it. That just did not look like a net to me. Didn't look like there was a touch at all, and good discipline by the Stanford block. Such a pretty thing to see that in slow motion. 2 players just rising up. 4 arms in unison, pressing over. Nice little swing block there, and well,
as has been the case so many times this year, we will sit and await the zoom in, zoom out, frame by frame dissection by our referee crew. Ryan McDowell, he's looking in on it. Meantime, the players wait.
Mentioned it earlier, Kevin. Jenna Gray, what an athlete. First team All-American in volleyball. 2 times All-American in the javelin. Throwing that spear.
Never mind, she plays beach volleyball too for Stanford.
Yeah. I remember seeing her play like her freshman year. Stanford started out the season running a 6-2, and I just looked at her and I go, this is a thoroughbred, Jenna Gray. and sure enough, I think midway through the season they switched to the 5-1, put her in charge, went on to win a national championship, I believe. And wow, what a player.
Inconclusive. Ball remains with Stanford.
Yep.
Looked like a good call from our vantage point. So back to serving, and Kate Formico has been a weapon at that. She puts it into the tape, and UCLA will repeat the line. What is it?
Thank you.
The ball never lies?
The ball never lies. All right, keep an eye on Mosier here. She got on a roll earlier. Some tough serving.
Well, holding leads has been a question for the Bruins. They got out against Cal in set number 2 to a 7-1 open. They would only score 8 more points the whole set. Outscored 24-8.
Good look at Holly Campbell, middle blocking freshman from Austin, Texas. Very active up there.
Light. Another big blast from that angle. Hens is all over it this time. And Catherine Plummer off the top of the block.
That one you could hear.
And if you don't know it, number 2, Catherine Plummer, who's doing all these things passing, all these things hitting, she was a setter in juniors, recruited to set. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Still likes to take the setting reps in practice, though.
I don't think
keeping those paws ready for a little beach action.
Some folks have talked about her maybe being a 2020 addition to the USA women's team. It's going to be tough timing-wise. This Plummer is a junior.
Yep.
Should have a very short run-up, although that is not without precedent. Even the last Olympics, the USA men's team in particular featured players that had come up a year or two into the team. The women had from UCLA, as a matter of fact. They had an opposite player come in, Karsta Lowe, the left-hander who made the Olympic team straight out of college.
Sydney Wilson back to serve. She's got 17 aces on the season.
Yeah, 3 against BYU, 4 against Utah. I'm not sure what it is that the state of Utah did to her, but she's punished them this year. Back row setter, and so she will remain at the line.
And she won't get a credit for an ace on that. And have a little chat here.
Yeah, we will have a discussion.
Kevin Hamley's going to let them chat it out first before he considers breaking out the green card.
And a replay called.
All right.
He will not need it. So it never happened. The former member of the Canadian national rowing team, Sydney Wilson, will go back to serve once again. Bick down. Put away by Moser.
Moser out of the back row. Nice little low set in the middle. UCLA, they getting the good passing, running the plays.
Plummer a little bit late to that ball. Better timing that time. Muno stabs it again. One more. No! This really is a feature libero duel between Muno and Hens.
You can see Sana Muno just laying out, keeping this alive. Such a great natural athlete. So quick. Had a couple more digs in that play.
Rogers, that one snuck over. Fitzmaurice has been quiet. She gets just a touch louder with that swing.
What a pretty set from Jenna Gray. Just sliding along the net. Just beautiful back set over the shoulder. Fitzmaurice looks so comfortable on that right side. Really mixing it up. High, cross court sharp. Doing a good job.
Look what's happened here. Stanford has crept back into this set. Plummer to come within one. A little push, and that was one thing we talked about with Kevin Hamlin.
Really pretty, yeah. Hamlin was talking about how different kind of off plays, they kind of push toward the block or around the block instead of taking the big swing, and it works.
Boarding that over from the men's international play. Kyra Rogers misses wide, and we welcome in an audience who was enjoying women's soccer on Pac-12 Network. Welcome to Pauley Pavilion and women's volleyball here on a Sunday full of outstanding sports action. I'm Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Mike Dodd. It has been all Bruins in the first set up until the last 10 minutes, and now we find ourselves tied at 17. The visiting Stanford Cardinal, the number 2 team in the nation, taking on a UCLA franchise that has been having a bit of a rough go at it.
And we mentioned it earlier, UCLA off to a great start, was maintaining that 5-point lead all throughout. All of a sudden, Stanford makes a couple big plays. Plummer gets warmed up, I guess, starts bombing and shooting. And such a great Stanford team. They constantly keep the pressure on, and they've worked themselves right back up to this 17-17 tie, timeout UCLA.
Just how good is Stanford? Let's take a look at the American Volleyball Coaches Association poll. This is every Monday they vote on it. Stanford trailing BYU. Now, I'll tell you why. Because Stanford's only loss on the year came to the Cougars in the second weekend of action, third match, 3-2. And yet somehow, neither team has lost since then. And Stanford remains behind them. So I wonder how long that victory is good.
We will see.
Are you, the coaches, going to go 2.5 months on one match that happened in the second week? This is a look at that match just a little bit. So in the season, Stanford has been quite dominant, but they were not against the Cougars.
Over 100 points under their normal hitting percentage, and give the BYU blockers credit for that. They had an incredible match of blocking. I believe they had 27 blocks in that match.
That is the only time someone has gone 5 with Stanford this year. Mentioned earlier, but if you just joined us, Stanford has lost just 4 sets in conference play. That is through 11 matches. As Mac May blasts one inside of the block there, an all-important side out for the Bruins.
Yeah, really good timeout by Mike Seeley there, calming his team down. Savvy Simo came in with a perfect pass that time. Jenna Gray's been getting him trouble on her serve. That time, Simo, perfect pass. UCLA runs the offense.
Oh, and I was just about to say, a good scoring rotation for UCLA. And Mike Seeley said to us, one problem we've had is missed serves when we have opportunities to score because of the rotation we're in.
Yep.
Funny how coaches know things about their teams. Stanford returns a favor. Mike Seeley and the Bruins have another chance. Mac May has been outstanding from the service line. Leads the Bruins in aces. Tough one there. Nuno again underneath it, but the Bruins cannot bring it up. Boy, she has been everywhere in this first set.
Give Megan McClure credit. Nice little roll shot over the top. Nuno everywhere on the court. What a player.
Tight. Over. A little contact there, too. I saw it earlier. Moser.
Yeah. Scary contact, because that's underneath the net where the ankles get turned over. Everyone looks fine, though. Thank goodness.
And nobody likes to see a player flying in on one of those tight plays. Bruins clinging to a 1-point advantage. Fitzmaurice bangs it off the block and out.
Boy, they're really running that right side set so fast out to Fitzmaurice. So effective on that right side. So you're going to the bench now.
Just the first kill for number 12, who's hitting .369 out on the pin. Light. She's been all about that angle in this first set. Moser hits again. Told you the libero duel was going to be a good one.
Boy, Morgan Hintz just flying through the air, picking up that defensive play. Look at that. That is solid. The ball's coming off that block so fast. She's literally 6 or 7 feet away. The reactions were incredible. Good stuff.
Stanford finally has a lead in this first set. It's coming at the right moment.
More good serving from Formico.
Hence, she was there, but didn't give it enough loft. Hope you had insurance for the first set. We're tied at 21.
Little broken play, sky dink for the Bruins going down. Nice job from Madeline Gates.
That one came out a little sticky from Gray. Did not bother McClure.
Shoots out to McClure. McClure going high off the hands.
That's where the development has been for number 4 this year. Kevin Hambley said she's hitting high and flat. She's learned how to use
hard
the ball.
too. Good power.
May chunks one out of bounds.
And again, that first contact, serve, receive. Critical time here for UCLA. Let's see if they can get a pass. Follow A not so great pass with a better one.
UCLA at one point led 15-10. Now the Bruins are now in need of a real point. Simo will go in to serve. Miller in the front row alongside May, and the best blocker on the floor for UCLA, Madeline Gates. I'd probably go to the outside. You have Plummer matched up right now against Miller. Instead they go to the right, and it works. Campbell. Set point number one for the Stanford Cardinal, who've had to work their way back here in set number one. Swing for the set. Plummer. Done.
Jenna Gray with a real nice job of getting that soft block against McMay. Stanford transitions well.
Deadly efficient at the end of the set. Stanford looking like the number 2 team in the nation for the latter part of the beginning of the match. UCLA put up a good fight in set number one, but at the end of the set, it turns to what it's been most of the year, just too much firepower from the Cardinal. And Catherine Plummer, 7 kills, hit 312.
Yeah, you've got your big three. Morgan Hens playing great defense. Plummer just converting transitions on the outside, and Jenna Gray just running a great offense. Pretty solid. Look at that heat.
Catherine Plummer, 325 kills on the year coming into that first set. Next person was Fitzmaurice with 208.
Yeah, and Plummer does such a great job of keeping everything in front of her. The ball, her vision, she sees the block so well. She finds the seams. She mixes things up. She's such a nice blend of power and precision. It's fun to watch.
I think they're going to have to make a new award, the AVCA Galactic Player of the Year this year, to give to number 2, who is putting up once again outstanding numbers.
They have to come up with something, because her freshman year she won the AVCA Freshman of the Year, sophomore year Player of the Year for the AVCA. So what's next?
And here's the thing, Mike, going through her stats this year over last year, she had the hitting last year. She had the serving last year. She did all those things already for Stanford. She did the passing, all the stuff we've already talked about. Her blocking numbers are up this year.
Yes.
She's added to that skill.
And that's what you see with great players. Kind of in the off season, they always come out, and whatever little small deficiencies they have, they've worked on that more than anything. And you can see it right there in the blocking.
So set number 2. I'm Kevin Barnett. You just heard Mike Dodd. We are courtside here in Pauley Pavilion. Getting a good look at what could be a national championship team. Once again, second time in 3 years it would be for the Stanford Cardinal.
Tough break for UCLA. They've got to try to mentally bounce back from that first set. They were up. They outplayed Stanford for 3/4 of the set, but the last quarter is where it really counts, Kevin, and Stanford was spot on.
There's a kill out of the middle. That'll go to Rogers. Kyra Rogers' second kill.
Well, we mentioned it at the beginning of the first set. They got to try to find a way to get Kyra Rogers more balls. She's so effective out of the middle, hits for such a high percentage. Find a way to get her the ball.
She was a bright spot on Friday, hitting 400 against Cal.
Ooh, tough serve.
Now Formico pops it up, and Plummer puts it away.
Oof.
Right down to the maple.
Watch out, Catherine Plummer starting to get her rhythm going out there. Really, seeing the block well.
Great to serve. 6'6", 6'6", and 6'2" in the front row right now for Stanford. And that could be intimidating. Ball wide for Moser, who's in negative territory and all too familiar space for second-year talent Jenny Moser.
And what all great blocks do, Kevin, they try to make their opponent do something that they try to do a little too much, and it leads to unforced errors. And Stanford's block right now is big.
That one just out. Caught a little extra air, Jenna Gray.
Catherine Plummer's going, Jenna, look at our front row. Just a little underhand.
It's good when you're throwing javelin to go a little long. Not so much when you're serving in volleyball. Alade. We have not talked about Tammy Alade. That is her second kill.
Yeah, earlier in the first set, Alade and Gray weren't really connecting well, but this time, right on the money. Gray puts that thing up about 9'2".
Well, she's been a steady presence as number 6. Third in total kills and first in blocks. That one's just inside of her, but Hens is once again there. That ball's tight again. Another dangerous play. And an undercall, indeed.
That set was tight from Muno. Moser trying to save it. Just so much momentum going forward. Her right foot was completely under.
Oh, that is so dangerous.
Oh.
Played with some players internationally that I would jump and look down.
The ankle snap.
Light had to get herself off the ground, and that is not where you want to be against that big block because Fitzmaurice is still up there with Alade.
Yeah, Alade Fitzmaurice. That's a nice wall right there for the Cardinal. Again, passing for the Bruins. Last few passes, just kind of shooty, broken plays.
So they pulled Light out. That happened to be enough of an adjustment for Stanford to miss it. A little bit different look. It was 6-2 UCLA in set 1. And moments ago it was 6-2 here in the second set for Stanford. A quiet night thus far for Fitzmaurice.
Wow.
Gray with pace to the outside. Oh, a little pineapple to the corner. Making Loy Ball proud right there.
Kylie Miller takes that tight pass from Zana Muno. She picks it up again and just shoots it to the back row out of Plummer's reach. Nice play for the Bruins.
Maybe the energy they needed. They're back within 2.
Ooh.
And make it 1. A serve from Moser.
Moser started the first set with that good serving on the right side. That time just pinging Plummer off the shoulder.
First ace of this match. Moser's 15th on the year. UCLA, not a team that gets a lot of aces, but they don't give up a ton either. Tough one for Fitzmaurice. She wraps around it. And Alade had just enough court there.
And there's the frustration for Mike Seeley and the Bruins. Not a free ball, but an off kind of chopped shot down the line. The Bruins just unable to keep that first contact on their side of the court. And Alade is always up and ready at the net. Such springs.
Light still hitting that angle. Got enough heat on it to send it out.
Nice job of going high off the hands. Zana Muno's been doing a really good job of being aggressive on those not so good passes, really stepping in and taking those sets with her hands and setting good balls to the outside. Ooh.
Like that set, do you, Mike Dodd?
I did. Thoroughbred athletes. Jenna Gray just takes that ball about 2 feet off the floor, sets a perfect back 5. Pretty stuff. Fitzmaurice so effective on that right side for Stanford, blocking and hitting.
Formica's not just trying to put that ball in play. She's trying to do something with it every time.
Yeah, Stanford getting a little greedy here starting the second set. Couple missed serves. Bruins will take it.
Just the windup from number 4, Megan McClure, who was captain of volleyball and softball at Santa Margarita Catholic.
Kind of Brazilian style. I mean, she brings that right arm from low and just powers.
I wonder if she can hit a jump serve. I'd like to see what a jump serve looks like from Megan McClure. She's got the heat. And the defense, too.
Wow.
Outstanding scramble from the Cardinal. No payoff yet. UCLA grinds their way through it.
You want to kill, go to Rogers. Great layout. Watch Jenna Gray get to this ball. That's just great reactions.
Here's that scoring rotation. Miller serving. Oh, and UCLA can't do it. Tip to 3. That was in the scouting report for Stanford. Tip it over the block and push it a little to the middle.
Such a great spot. Such a nice mix again of power and precision. Frustrating to be a defender against Catherine Plummer. Never know what's coming at you.
Now 9 kills and nearly 400 is what it has been coming at you if you're UCLA to this point. Is it 10? Indeed. And one for you, Mike Dodd.
Little area block there. Just kind of saved our faces. So again, Plummer mixes it up. A nice little dink in the middle. Next time out, chopping cross court, using hands. So effective.
Trying to build back into the lead of the Cardinal. Blocking is a good way to do it. Excellent help from Gray.
Yeah, Jenna Gray really saw that, stepped over, and watch Jenna Gray here. She's going to see the quick set, come over and help, and just closes off the little slap back that Rogers was trying to do.
Mike Seeley, a coach who will let his team ride a bit on the floor. He's thinking hard about a timeout if this one goes down. It's going through his mind, and the motion will go through his arms. Timeout called. 13-8, set number 2. Stanford looking a bit more like Stanford. UCLA going to reorganize. Stanford Cardinal giving UCLA all kinds of trouble in the second set, and it has been a bit of trouble over the last 2 matches for the Bruins. Look at their first 16. Look at the numbers there. And then the last 2 matches, losses to Washington State. Nothing to be ashamed of there. But then Cal.
Cal was tough. And tonight, as of this moment, hitting .132, so it's not getting any better.
In the current set, negative territory,
yes.
.067, and that is with a dash before and all in red. May tip, camping was Gray. Tight. Plummer out-dueled for the moment. Clean opportunity for the Bruins.
Go get it.
And that will pass the pole.
Interesting, but her feet.
Pass the pole, no good. They're going to call that on ball position. You're not allowed to chase the ball to that spot.
Wow, Catherine Plummer did such a great job of knowing exactly where she was. She got her feet nestled right up next to the line and just, I guess, had to lean over the line, and as soon as she made contact.
Well, that's done for player safety. They don't want people running, internationally, if you watch that, you can run past the pole, bring it back. As long as it passes outside the antenna both ways, your play will continue. In college, they do not want that happening. They do not want players going into the stands, crashing into equipment and or fans.
That's what makes volleyball fun, though, Kevin.
I don't disagree.
I don't think players like that rule. I know.
I don't like that play stopped right there.
Yeah, sure.
That ball's
totally under control.
Yeah. Rules committee, have a conversation in December again. I'm sure you will. Actually, it'll be next December. They meet every 2 years. Good touch. McClure can't decide what to do. What would you like there, Mike?
Kind of the back bump over your shoulder, and she tried to get around it with the tomahawk, I guess. There you go. Just turn your platform back, set it over your head.
That would be how I classically see you. In the back row, platform up in the air, head tucked in. Not even looking, just zen, like radar, as though you had a backup camera in the back of your head and you got that ball on point. Mike Dodd, one of the all-time beach volleyball legends in the game. So UCLA has burned one timeout. We were at 15-10 in the first set, but it was a reversal. UCLA had the lead. Right now it is the Cardinal. That ball's alive.
It's alive off the back.
Hence, right side McClure, dug again. Longest rally of the match. Fitzmaurice again, tough opportunity. Someone's going to get a big cut here eventually. There it is. Light. Call down the oxygen
Look at
after this one.
Off the back. It's good. Hens sticks with it. Nice choppy cross court. And UCLA needed that kind of emotional lift from winning a long rally.
That sprawl from Hens. I think there would have been a proud Harlan Cohen after that play right there.
Absolutely.
He loved the sprawl. One-time coach for the Bruins and then Pepperdine University for a number of years. A look at Morgan Hens, #1 libero in the conference, #1 libero in the nation. And maybe #1 in your hearts, not sure. Set over, it was good last time, not this time.
Nice dig, McMay.
Hence the Plummer has to stretch out and gets all of it.
Yeah, Morgan Hens did a nice job of really bumping this 10-foot line more like at about the 6-foot line. Plummer really had to do a broad jump. What a nice swing.
It's one thing to be 6'6". We see some of those players around even 6'8". If you think about former libero, or pardon me, former opposite Moretta Lutz for Stanford. It's another thing to be built like Catherine Plummer is. The strength of Catherine Plummer.
The strength and just the body control.
The agility.
The awareness. Just the whole package. Special player.
Boy, what pace on that one. Both on the swing, but also the set.
Fitzmaurice just delivering on that right side. Look at her approach is so quick. That ball is just zipped back there. Jenna Gray. Nice back set.
Fitzmaurice has been forced to manage some stuff here, but she has done so. No errors, 12 swings, 5 kills. She has 3 in this set alone. Big touch. Short slide, Muno with the dig. One-on-one, and that one is blasted. That landed near Whole Foods. Out on Gailey.
McClure just going for the gusto out there. Unloading.
So UCLA back to within 5 of the Russians. I mean Stanford. The size of Stanford akin to the old Russian teams. Plummer missed his. UCLA scores another one.
Boy, Kevin, in our position right here, it's just you see Morgan Hens playing that left side, and we get a perfect angle of how she just steps in and lines up with the outside hitter. What a defender.
Plummer got just the right spot there, and the point will go to Stanford. To my point about this being the tallest team you've seen in some time, the defensive players, the DSs, Chang is 5'10", Caitlin Keefe is 5'11", Formico's 5'9", Hens is 5'9". Those are sizes that play outside hitter in much of the country. So McClure again back to serve.
McClure's really been doing a good job of getting the Bruins in trouble with this serve.
She's hitting 400 at the net, adding to an already exceptional sophomore campaign. Hit 216 last year, hit 285 to this point this year.
Picking up the numbers.
Rogers right now picking up her numbers.
Yeah,
4 kills.
Another nice kill, slid it right in between Plummer's outstretched arms in the net for another kill.
Scoring rotation for the Bruins. They are within striking distance here in set 2. plays like that'll help. Oh, out of bounds. That was close.
Wow, Mac May had timed that so well. She was piking over the net, and this ball goes straight down, but just a little bit out of bounds. Almost landed underneath the feet of Holly Campbell. Look at that.
Caught the inside edge of the right hand. May, right side, straight down. And Mike Seeley said of Mac May, thank you very much, Stein Metzger. Because Mac May played on that national championship beach team in the spring. And said, listen, she came back indoors with increased ball control, outstanding range, the ability to hit 4-4.
Yep.
Really progressing as number 14, Mac May out of Dubuque, Iowa in her sophomore year.
Thank you, Stein.
Plummer, nice turn. Good spot by UCLA. Oh, tough ball for Light.
Tough break there. Mac May doing a nice job going from the front row to the back row. Made a nice play defensively that time. Light just, that ball pushed a little too far outside. Couldn't control it.
Gray to serve that big front row in place. UCLA with a nice side out.
Yeah, Moser with a nice job of saving that set. Just kind of lifting this bump set right over the top of the block. Stanford unable to scramble after it.
Good serve from Rogers. Cross-court swing is out. Here come the Bruins.
Rogers put a nice serve on Catherine Plummer to start this play.
(7-4) by UCLA to this moment. Over on one. That's good at Marine Street if you're over 50. Score more defense from the Bruins. Not this time. Olade collects the kill. That'll be her 5th.
And you can just kind of sense the power of Stanford, the pressure they put on with those arms. UCLA digging, but can't keep up.
That's the kind of team UCLA has been. Just kind of dig to transition, stretch people out.
Tough serve.
And first ace of the match for Stanford comes at an opportune time.
Catherine Plummer started the night with 19 aces. Make it an even 20 at a critical time for Stanford.
Timeout, UCLA. Talked about Mike Dodd and his beach volleyball legend status. Will it be legend status for Alex Kleinman? That's the question. She's already made a successful transition in this year, teaming with April Ross to win multiple tournaments on the AVP as well as the FIVB scene. 3 domestic victories for that pair, including Manhattan Beach.
Yes, Alex Kleinman was such a great outside hitter for Stanford, and transitioning, played a lot of international indoor volleyball, played for the national team, and yeah, nice job by April Ross bringing her along. She's doing really good.
Yeah, at 6'5", akin to the size of Catherine Plummer, who herself is an exceptional beach volleyball player, and hopefully we will see her at USC coming up April 25th to 27th for the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championship. She missed last year, sustained a knee injury at a USA Volleyball national team tryout. All that put in the past now, everything healthy, and she has been crushing it here tonight. 12 kills, 296, 1 ace, which she just picked up to go along with 3 digs. Just a casual outing for number 2.
Catherine Plummer numbers. You just look at Stanford hitting as a team, 304. It's just such a...
And that's a match number.
Just up and down, you know, for the season. Alade hitting 370. Fitzmaurice, 369. Such high percentages.
McClure. There's that high flat blast.
Nice one-hand stab by May.
Fitzmaurice right side. Lots of open court. She finds it. We are at a set point once again. Took Stanford just one last time.
And again, Stanford just really mixing it up well. Those off plays that a lot of times you swing away and make errors, they're just throwing it down. Scoring points.
Ooh, nice block across the face of the net by Gates. Very few blocks in this match overall. That's just the 5th.
That ball just sliding inside. Big block for the Bruins.
Second set point. Looking for the 2-0 lead. Olade went to the floor hard on that cover. Blast long, no touch. Point again for UCLA. So a 3rd set point for Stanford. No panic yet from Kevin Hambley and crew.
No panic, but even if the Bruins don't win this set, maybe they're going to get a little momentum to take into the 3rd.
They're going to have to do it through intermission. We'll be sending up to Kate Scott right about now, because that missed serve will end it at 25-20, a set that was dominated by Stanford. A little late Bruin momentum. We'll see if that carries to the 3rd set. Let's give it back to Kate Scott with Pac-12 playlist before we return to Paulie for set number 3. Lots happening here on a Sunday. Take it away, Kate. They call it the Conference of Champions for a reason, because they are relevant in the national scene. Top 25 teams inside the Pac-12: Arizona, Washington, UCLA, Washington State, who's been on the rise as of late. Oregon been yo-yoing up and down. SC, an outstanding year, and top of the heap, number 2 Stanford, who's in action right now.
Top of the heap.
Trailing only BYU and getting first place votes as we look at the next generation of Bruin cheerleaders here. Had the pom-poms out, the bear suits on, and if your brother's here, you might want to just give him a few punches. There you go.
Right to the gut.
Get some, bro. We will see what the Bruins have in store for the Cardinal. They're down 0-2. A very Cardinal performance in the 2nd set. I'm Kevin Barnett alongside Mike Dodd. We are in Los Angeles. Stanford keeping alive, hands down and back up quickly.
That was quick.
May bangs it through the block. That's the kind of efficient transition swings, Mike, that they need if they're on the Bruin side.
Absolutely. All starts with the first contact. Get that ball right on a dime into your setter's hands.
Catherine Plummer has 12 kills. She leads all attackers. UCLA offense a bit more diverse. How about a little more Plummer?
Wow.
Nobody wants any more of that from the junior.
What an angle. That set was 3 or 4 feet off the net. She just chopped.
Kevin Hambley told us he could move Fitzmaurice to the outside for next year. You would have 2 6'6" outside hitters.
Bada bing.
Said the plan last year was to have 6'6", 6'6" on the outside, along with 6'8" Moretta Lutz on the opposite. Just didn't work out. The block is already huge. Look at Gray out there. And being a great blocker doesn't mean you have to be tall. 6'1" is fine. 53 blocks.
Yeah, 6'1" with hops. Whew. Just took that line away completely, Jenna Gray. Nice job.
That ball chopped out of bounds, not after a fantastic cover from the freshman, Sawyer Egner-Swayze. Now in there in that DS spot. Tip over, a layout from Formico. Double contact, easy call there, 3-2.
What an athletic move by Formico, though. Just laid, sprawled out. Picked up that dump. Kept it alive for Stanford. And Lade's going to work on those hands during the beach season. Get that set to the outside, flawless.
Bad pass into the Bermuda Triangle.
What a play.
Yeah, what a touch there. McClure, that was a nice shot, but Muno again underneath it.
The sprawl.
Zana Muno put together a highlight tape, number 7.
Just the flexibility right there to just sprawl, lay out, and get the platform underneath the ball. Great defense.
Looking like a young Mike Dodd.
Not really.
Net violation. UCLA playing closer. This is the first time we've been this close.
Yep.
Beginning of a set, we opened 6-2 each way through 1 and 2. Scoring rotation continues for UCLA. Remember, they got that little run at the end of the second.
Great cover.
Hands flying in. Can't get underneath that one as it's straight down by Rogers.
Boy, Kyra Rogers did a great job. We'll see this replay. She's going to get that left hand way over, taking away the angle. Ba-boom. Loving that. Feeding her squad with some emotion after the block.
And this time playing defense with the left hand. Everybody has the sprawl in their arsenal today. That one tipped over. And again, we see the deliberateness of a ball that's out of system from Stanford.
Yeah, Catherine Plummer so good at mixing things up. This time a little roll shot into the middle, just out of the reach. You got to be perfect with that shot to get it down on Muno. UCLA opening up this third set with some really good defense out there.
17 points already for Catherine Plummer. McClure with the dig. That ball well off for Fitzmaurice. Oh, just inside of Alade. Little twist from number 6.
Mac May, look at the rise. Just snapping that thing cross court. Shot there to Mac May, yeah.
May light and Muno on reception. Plummer at the line. This will be light. Cross court, hands high into the air. Too tight.
Good save.
Something happened with the antenna. Some contact was made.
Play on.
I think whoever loses this rally is going to challenge. And an overcall is going to go against Rogers, but you might see a challenge anyway. That the ball hit the antenna. Now, I think each coach has an argument here as there was a no call right in front of the referee.
This is going to be interesting. And sometimes the blocker, in their attempt to seal the line, catches that antenna with their hands. We'll see what made that antenna move.
Oh, yeah, the block. Good call, Mike Dodd.
There you see.
Now, the question is, did the ball hit the antenna and the hand? I don't know.
You know, we had such a perfect angle on it from here. It looked to me like McClure was guiding this tip inside. See her wrist away? See her wrist going away? And she was getting it out of the way of the antenna, and I think it's Mosier right there, or is it?
Yeah, it looks like Mosier out there.
Or Light. I can't tell, but it looked like the UCLA outside blocker in the attempt to seal that line actually hit the antenna with her hand. We'll see.
Good look at Caitlin Nielsen there in her 6th season, the assistant coach, just to Mike Seeley's right, giving that instruction. Kevin Hambly in his 2nd year. And Ryan McDowell in the replay booth again.
There you see the attempt to... Wow.
That is closer than it looked the other way.
Yes.
And this is the capability
trying?
that the officials have, is to zoom in like this. I agree with you, though, Mike.
She's trying to get that ball away from the antenna, but it looks like that right hand is on the antenna.
Clearly in that other angle it was, yeah. Yeah, so ball in or out, the challenge is that the ball hit the antenna, in which case it would be out. So we're not talking about the traditional lines, but it is considered an out-of-bounds violation when the ball hits the antenna. There's Tony Kerr alongside Mike Sealy and Caitlin Nielsen. We now expecting Caitlin Nielsen. Congratulations on their expanding family. Her and her husband Nils, head coach at Windward, Bruin alum, and one of the nicest people you'll meet.
Not a big surprise that this review is taking a little while longer than usual. Big play, early part, set number 3. Stanford winning the first 2.
It gives these guys an opportunity to catch up once again.
They've been having nice little powwows there during these challenges.
You know, I started getting the gray on the side, and then I thought, do I wash it out? And Mike says,
I go Grecian formula? What do I do?
Can I spray it? No, it's kind of regal. I went with it. When did it happen to you? Well, in my 30s. Oh, that's funny. Funny. A little later for me. What'd you say?
Is it the missed serves?
Mike Sealer, why don't you wear a tie? Kevin Hambley, they don't require it there in NorCal.
What's going on? There it is. She's trying the wrist away. Looks like she's got that ball inside of the antenna.
Yeah, because I think the ball crosses the antenna in line before the antenna moves. A split second, and then it is contacted by the hands. But as we saw during live play, I thought, hey, whoever loses this rally, you're going to see immediately that green card. And we have sat here for a bit. Upcoming schedule for the Bruins, they will be at Oregon State next Friday, then at Oregon on Sunday before a Thursday tilt back here in Los Angeles against Washington State.
So I guess at this point, would you say that the odds are in Stanford's favor to win this challenge, just because it has the evidence has to be conclusive that and from our angle, whether it was the hand or the ball,
originally called for Stanford, in favor of Stanford, the eventuality of the point. There was no call on that play that we are watching now.
Well, we were talking about the rules committee, and I'm saying when they gather again
in 2019.
How about coming out and saying, thumbs up, old school, play it over. We can't tell. There was something going on bad there. We just can't pinpoint who it is.
Well, the Stanford Cardinal, they are about to begin a 4-match homestand. They'll face Colorado and Utah next weekend before hosting the Oregon schools on back-to-back days, second weekend of November.
All right, now, are we sure?
We have a decision.
We know what?
So they will call a net violation against UCLA, is what we're hearing from our crack production crew. And that will be Jenny Moser.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Mike Dodd detailed about 20 minutes ago here while we waited for this to be resolved. But the referees want to get it right. Challenge system for the first time has been put into play in every one of the Pac-12 schools. So into the antenna, net violation on number 4. There you go. Mike Dodd, we'll get you in a blue shirt with a nice patch on it soon.
No chance.
After all that, remember that Plummer is still serving, and we are tied now at 6 here in this third set. Kevin Barnett, Mike Dodd, courtside, seeing if the Stanford Cardinal can put the brooms to the Bruins. It's not recommended that you try and beat off a bear with a broom. You usually use that when you put the wastebasket over your head and attack a bat that is in your cabin, if you're John Candy.
Wow, what a play by Muno.
Fitzmaurice, OT, and down. That one just through the outstretched fingertips of the block. Stanford up 1 now.
Such a luxury in transition to have this right side. Fitzmaurice is just a force. She's just so consistent, hitting it so high.
Plummer laces another one down there. Ace from number 2, Catherine Plummer. 21 on the year now, if I'm doing my math correctly, at 19 coming in.
Yep.
And she has the only 2 aces for Stanford in this match. Stanford block was there. Didn't matter.
Rogers again working her way around the block. So effective out of the middle.
And she's now hit the ceiling that's been on top of her for quite some time. She has 5 kills.
Ooh.
Left front Bermuda Triangle strikes again.
And an ace.
Yeah, Rogers with the ace. Something that's been picking up as a part of her game.
No.
Back to back. Plummer can't get out of the way. 9-8. Bruins back on top.
Rogers coming out of the middle of the court, creating a nice angle right at Plummer over on that left side. Hint steps over.
Yeah, they pulled her out, went with 2. Big stuff block from Fitzmaurice. That was 6-5 going against 6-6.
Tammy Alade also doing a nice job of really working to get out and guide that right to Fitzmaurice.
That ball dug tight. Gray gets just enough of it. Like the courage of that swing, just a little long.
Yeah, good attempt. Nice and high, just missed the hands. Alexis Light doing a nice job for UCLA out on that left side. Got 5 kills herself.
Oh, Hens diving in on the middle attack. Reckless abandon. Again, butt into the crowd.
Morgan Hens. The reactions coming out of the block. Look at this. Boom. Up. Now she's going to just step right into this again. And just couldn't control.
It's a good thing she has that skid on her right hand there.
Exactly.
That is just straight over the top of everyone involved.
OT. Catherine Plummer got in trouble a little while ago. A couple aces on her. That time stepped over and just passed on a dime. That's what your great players do. They bounce right back. They have short memories. Don't get in a rut.
You know. Can Bruins convert? No, not yet. Plummer's underneath it. May out of the back row. Flash of brilliance from UCLA.
Sana Muno playing the D for the Bruins. Ball control. Mac May, look at her load up out of the middle. That's just a bomb.
We have French fries on the board. An update on the liberos. 21 digs for Zana Muno. About half those highlight film material. Morgan Hens with 16. Again, you could just throw a highlight of that.
Yeah, between the two of them.
It could be an all Bruin show.
Quite a treat.
All libero show. Number 7 in blue. And number 9 in black. Showing you how to play that libero position.
Savvy Simo there with a missed serve. He's going to bounce right back and pass some balls, play some defense. Such a fiery competitor for the Bruins. Great personality on the court.
Simo, another one of those dual athletes, playing on the beach side.
Now, is that hang time or just height time?
I'll give you a little of both on that.
A little of both. Here they're going to see Plummer. Like a double reach back.
I think they're back on the ground right there.
I think it was.
Yeah, Holly Campbell, the freshman, checks in at 6'4". That UT was a little too close to home down there in Texas. Her dream was always to play at Stanford. And she has been big for them at the net in her freshman year.
What a nice timed block. Campbell and Gray just sealing the line.
Had 82 blocks coming into this match, and Campbell now picks up her first of this one. Tips are not going down against the Cardinal.
Lip. Hey, what a set.
Plummer. Another good touch from the block. Gates. And May, nice turn.
That time May reached a little bit higher toward that line. Going off Gray and out of bounds for a big point for the Bruins. Again, Bruins scrappy defense all over the court, keeping that ball alive. Stanford is just, they keep the pressure on with the arms. Such good hitting, such great setting there from Jenna Gray.
Nuno can't handle that dart down the line.
Wow, Holly Campbell, just a freshman.
3-point lead for the Cardinal. They're up 2-0. 10 more gets them the sweep. This Pac-12 volleyball match is brought to you by State Farm. Here to help life go right. And now we get to the State Farm here to help life go right. Highlight of the match, Morgan Hentz. Doesn't matter if it's bouncing through the block, 9 in black's getting under it.
Yeah, and the way she just sprawls and just disregards for her body. She sprawls all over the court. And the way she picks up digs that go through the block is amazing. Her reactions, cat-like. Number 4 all-time in digs.
Now she's moved to number 4 on the all-time list. In fact, passing Kristen Klein-Keefe, who was an Olympian with the national team and has a couple of daughters. Twins on the club here. Look at number 20 there. Kaylin right next to Morgan Hentz. Nice pancake from Simo. Oh no, pardon me. Sawyer Egner-Swayze. To wait for the sprawling Bruin to get up, catch the number.
Nice job, nice pancake.
Yeah, Simo is back there along with Egner-Swayze. Seen a couple of nice plays from number 9. Played for the first time in a month against Cal, and now getting some more run here. Quickest way to get more time, make plays like that.
Bob.
One of the cleanest connections we've seen for her.
Yeah, and again, Formico took a really tough floater, passed it on a dime. Good stuff.
There's a look at the family. Kristen Klein-Keefe there on the right. Now 5th all time. Sorry about that.
Sorry. Take a step back.
Dad is Adam Keefe, one-time Utah Jazz player. Family now lives
in
the college days. That ball is caromed out of bounds. Lived in Salt Lake City years ago. There's Adam Keefe on the upper left. Some other family present. 4 kids in the family. 2 on the team now. A couple of other young sons. Live here in the LA area. Adam Keefe, a native of Irvine. In fact, just inducted into the Woodbridge High School Hall of Fame. First ever inductee. A state title there in basketball, and he played volleyball and basketball at Stanford. Oh! Back-to-back exceptional plays. Stanford finishes.
It's the omnipresent block of Stanford and the hitting that just continually grinds at the opponents. It just never ceases.
To your point, they didn't have a lot of blocks early. They have 7 now, but they've had all those touches. It's been on the way.
So many great touches.
Make it 8 with that last one. UCLA bench still hopeful.
Look for Plummer to try to zip this thing down the line. No cross court.
And another block. Olade gets there late.
Yeah, Olade just pressing, overtaking away the cross court at a very high point.
There's the twins. Michaela number 8, Caitlin at number 20.
There they are.
Blake Sharp in between. Fitzmaurice OT. Give it to her again. No. Olade. Good night.
Boom. Well, it's such a potent combination because you've got Olade and Fitzmaurice over on that right side. And so the left side hitter is trying to avoid the block and just popping it right into Morgan Hansen's golden bumpers, just waiting to dig those balls up.
Golden bumpers. Is that some at the top of a pinball machine? I like that.
Ooh, what a dig.
There's some golden bumpers for you, middle back.
Again.
Twice. Gray can't quite get hold of that one. The cut shot is good for Moser.
The cutty. Look at this first dig. Little right arm stabby. That was a fun rally, Kevin Barnett. That was good volleyball all the way around.
You've seen it for stretches here from UCLA.
Yep.
But it's kind of what Mike Steely said to us. He said, we have to play perfect volleyball for a long period of time.
A long period against the Stanford team in particular.
But UCLA has acquitted themselves well against the number 2 team in the nation.
Wow.
That ball's missed. Olade says touch. And no. I love the reaction right there. My eyes went over to Kevin Hambley.
I did exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Kevin Hambley shook his head and gave a look. It's not even close. And he had a good view of it. Yeah, that one's not even close to staying in.
Boom, McClure again unloading. That's twice in a row. Catherine Plummer has taken tough float serves just with her hands and basically set a perfect pass up to Jenna Gray.
I think that's a skill doesn't get used enough in the women's game.
Yep.
Plummer, more defense. McClure, good chip. Plummer off the back row. Boy, she hustled to get on that one.
Yeah, Jenna Gray touched great feet flying all over the place. That was the perfect height, nice and low. Plummer just coming like a freight train. Baboosh down the middle. Zana Muno couldn't get there.
Net violation. Going to go against the aggressive Holly Campbell.
Yeah, Holly Campbell thought it was an overpass. Ready to unload.
I like it. You show the world it is.
That's
taking a cut at it.
Why not? Oh,
Fitzmaurice stopped.
Morgan Hens almost covered that ball, just off, basically off the ground.
Just the second time Fitzmaurice has misfired in this match. Plummer has 14, McClure 8, Fitzmaurice 8. On the other side, McMay with 13, Light with 7, and Rogers with 6. That ball's wide. UCLA right back in it here in set 3.
They are right there. Here again, watch Catherine Plummer. Perfect pass overhand. McClure just going for glory down that line, just wide.
McClure hits the meat of the court this time. Ball really tight. And we'll have an under violation against Gray, who is struggling to get that one. It is a 1-point third set. Kevin Hambley, timeout.
Good timeout by Stanford. Just settle things down. UCLA playing some great defense right now. Really battled their way back into this third set.
First timeout called by Stanford, all the way back to 7-2 UCLA in set one.
Wow.
We asked Kevin Hambly earlier in the year about Fitzmaurice and her transition.
Efficiency, you look at it and go, she's doing a great job. I think she's still got a lot to learn about the activity level that it takes to play a pin position. You know, the middle, you stay on the net and you get to the 10-foot line and you come back. But playing defense, covering, playing free balls, you don't do as much of that stuff in the middle. And so I think she's adjusting. I think if you ask her, she's going to be really hard on herself, harder than she should be. But offensively, she's figuring things out, and I think she's done a really nice job in blocking wise. I think she's doing great.
Kevin Barnett, I'd say Adriana Fitzmaurice is adjusting quite well on that right side. Such an active player. You love players that maybe have played one position all their life, but take a challenge, you know, learn some new skills, figure it out. She's doing it on the fly, and I think doing a great job. Coach mentioned she's a little hard on herself. You want your best players to be hard on themselves, don't you? That's the only way you're really going to push yourself to the next level. So mentally, physically, the whole package. Adriana Fitzmaurice doing the job at the opposite position for Stanford.
A second-generation athlete. Dad played professional basketball down in Peru. Mom was a national team athlete there in Peru in volleyball and basketball. Had extreme success in basketball. And watching their daughter now dominate the right side for Stanford much of the year. However, she misfires there, and we are 21-all. We found ourselves here in set one. Back again in set three. It's up for the taking. Sawyer Egner-Swayze. McClure blocked. Plummer puts it down with a smart shot. A thinking player's shot.
When all else fails, go to your gun. And more often than not, that player right there, Catherine Plummer, will figure out a way to see that ball hit the floor.
16 kills for Plummer. Big backslide move. Nicely done by Gates. Gates' fourth kill.
Let's give Mac May some credit, too. She's been doing some really good passing for UCLA in the back row, setting up all these nice offensive plays for the Bruins. Now she's in the front.
One good backslide deserves another. That one's off the antenna and gone.
Boy, you saw Mac May really make a strong move to block that line. Holly Campbell sees it and just chops cross body, cross court. That's just good volleyball for both sides.
May and Gates, along with the setter, Kylie Miller, are in the front row. May not afraid of the block one bit.
Free swinging, we would say, Kevin Barnett. High, hard off the hands. This is just a big-time swing. Big-time players need to make big-time swings. Mac May coming through for the Bruins.
Set is there for the taking. Muno will switch sides, go to the left. Whistle already blown. Plummer from way off. Muno. May again long.
Oh, they got a touch.
They did. They certainly did from the back line judge, and now it is set point for UCLA.
What a dig by Muno. Ricocheting off the block. Plummer's free swinging. Muno digs.
Served the line last time. Does it again. Oh, maybe overthinking it there, but it goes over Muno. The freshman, Campbell, with an outstanding salvage.
Yeah, what a save. From below the net.
Tied at 24, extra time. McClure, Plummer.
Tight.
Not against this block. That ball hit the floor. So Stanford now match point.
Jenna Gray has just been so impressive tonight at the net with her blocking. The way she steals that line, just getting it done for the Cardinal.
10 blocks for the Cardinal, match point now. Out of bounds and done. UCLA fought well. In the end, they go down 26-24 in the third and 3 sets to none. 18th consecutive victory and now 12-0 this season for Kevin Hambley and the Stanford Cardinal.
And Mike Seeley said last year they got to 6-6 in conference, and that's when they turned it around. And even though UCLA lost this match, the way they played tonight is kind of just a little bit of impetus to maybe be able to turn things around for the Bruins as well. They played a very good match, very hard fought against a great Stanford team.
Mac May continues a good tear for Mike Seeley. 15 kills, hit 256, 10 digs to go with that, but could not overcome the Stanford Cardinal and Catherine Plummer. 16 kills, 275, 13 digs, 2 blocks, and 2 aces. Another superlative performance for her and the #2 team in the nation. We're going to go back to Pac-12 playlist here in just a moment with Kate Scott, but not before we give you a few more shots of the excellence from down here in LA. Congratulations to the Cardinal. They win once again. 3 sets to none over UCLA. We'll give it to you, Kate Scott. Wrap the weekend for us.